This is Matt Crane from MGMT Boston. I'm with Emily Knight, the CEO of The Engine, the home of tough tech globally, but based right here in Boston. So we are here to talk about what she's building at this platform and why it's important, why you should all care when it comes to the future of tough tech. So Emily, thank you so much for being here and inviting me to your beautiful office.
Thank you for being here.
So first question, what is The Engine?
The Engine is an entrepreneurial support organization. We are an incubator, we are an accelerator, and we are a platform to help tough tech companies, the technologists and the founders, create world-changing companies to get from the lab to the market and to make impact with these technologies. Tough tech, we say, is the convergence of science and engineering technology that is solving the world's biggest challenges, the world's toughest challenges. So it has to be tough, it has to be resilient, and the leaders of these organizations are also tough and resilient. And so that is the group of people, the technologies that we are here to support and accelerate on their pathway to commercialization and to impact.
And tough tech is different. I think that's a really important thing to put a fine point on. Now, when it comes to the Engine and sort of like all of that you just said, which is a lot, by the way, what is going on in the Engine as you think about the mid-year of 2025 and even sort of an exciting monumental flagship event in the fall?
Yes, so I'll say a couple things. We have over 120 residents, so companies in residency at the Engine across 3 different buildings that we run. So that's incredible.
Yeah.
I think I have to acknowledge what's going on in the larger environment right now. It's a struggle. It's really hard.
Sure.
And so we are doubling down on supporting these companies, the technologists, the founders, and the companies themselves on how to develop. We think about how we can advocate for them, how we can support them, and any of the programs we can do. We're also continuing in that same vein to talk about the impact. And so it's not just about finding the funding, finding the resources to fill gaps.
Right.
It's also about continuing to tell the story of what tough tech is trying to solve. And so as we bring people along that journey, we think about convening the funders, the supporters, academia, government, and corporates, people who are going to procure the technologies who will be the customers.
Right.
So our Tough Tech Summit is happening on October 28th. Around that whole week, we are convening the Massachusetts ecosystem. What Massachusetts does is tough tech. You think about quantum, you think about robotics, you think about biotech, all of the above, climate tech. It is all tough tech. And so we are hosting Tough Tech Week, October 27th through the 31st, and really excited to bring people to the table to have conversations about how to get tough tech out of the lab, how to get tough tech into the market, how to get advanced market agreements, offtake agreements, and how to really help these technologies and the founders of these companies move through a really difficult time. Also continue to tell that story about impact.
Yeah. So if you're interested in tough tech, be there in October and we'll make sure we link that. Now, you've done a lot of things in your career. You've managed spaces, you've managed operations, you've been at the Engine for 7+ years, now leading this organization as the CEO. What sort of advice or maybe pearls of wisdom would you give back to up and coming operators, other CEOs leading tough tech companies, investors, founders in the space at this moment that they can use to drive their careers forward?
So there's always a little bit of a lean for me on hospitality.
Sure.
I went to the Cornell Hotel School, so I actually approach all of this with a little bit of a service mindset.
Love that.
And I think a lot of that for me is about saying yes, think about collaborations, be open to new things. I have everyone here in our organization think about how we're helping founders, what are the gaps we're filling. And we do that in the most safe environment and with all of the criteria we need to fulfill, but also we have a mission. We are trying to help these founders and these technologies. So we say yes. It means that when I approach partnerships or other people in the ecosystem, I am looking to partner. And I think that that mindset of how can we do this together? How might we solve these problems? The we is a bigger group. It is Massachusetts at large. It is how do we keep companies here thriving, creating jobs? It is how do we get these founders over the hurdles through the valleys of death and having, just problem solving mindset. I will also say, we continually share what we've learned and help bring that back. So keeping the learning cycle very quick. I think all of the founders here shouldn't have to learn things that someone else has already done. So really trying to everything that we've known in the past, create all the resources, the templates, and let them move faster and then solve the new problems and bring that back to the group.
Definitely. That's really great advice. Now, last but not least, how can we help the Engine? How can we help the tough tech ecosystem in Massachusetts grow and far beyond?
I'd say be curious, think about what these companies are doing, read about them, listen to the podcast, support them.
Sure.
Join tough tech companies. They are all hiring and they need really smart, motivated people. The Engine is now a nonprofit, so we are also looking for people to support us. And our nonprofit work will be creating programs for proto-founders and people in academia looking to spin out their technology. Become a mentor, join the movement of tough tech and support us. And again, I think it all comes back to be curious. This is something that Massachusetts does incredibly well. We are the home for tough tech here, but that is entirely what is happening in Massachusetts. And so get involved in any way, and we would love to engage with anyone who wants to help.
Definitely. This is Emily Knight, the CEO of The Engine, Matt from MJ2 Boston, in this episode of Lantern. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.